With all the recent hype surrounding the opening of TRON at Magic Kingdom, it's easy to forget that it hasn't even been a year yet since one of Disney Imagineering's most ambitious projects ever opened at EPCOT. I'm of course talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like Cosmic Rewind never really got the recognition it deserves compared to the buzz around everything else going on at the Disney parks over the past year. And even when it opened last May, many people were still way more interested in the construction of TRON instead of the brand new state-of-the-art indoor roller coaster at EPCOT. So today I wanted to give Cosmic Rewind its proper day in the sun as we take a look at a few main reasons why I think the hype has been swept under the rug, and more importantly, why you might want to even prioritize it over other headlining attractions like TRON Lightcycle Run and even Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Because I think a strong case can be made that Cosmic Rewind is still the best roller coaster and perhaps even the best overall attraction in all of Walt Disney World. Let's dive in and talk about it. Alright, so as I mentioned before, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is an indoor roller coaster located in Epcot's former Universe of Energy Pavilion, now referred to as the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion. Not only is it one of the longest indoor roller coasters in the entire world at over 5,500 feet, it's actually the longest roller coaster period in all of Florida, and also the fastest coaster at Walt Disney World, coming in at 60 miles per hour, just a hair faster than TRON's 59. But probably the most notable fun fact about Cosmic Rewind is that it's reportedly the most expensive roller coaster attraction ever built, costing an estimated $500 million. Now sure, all those stats are great for marketing purposes, but obviously won't mean much if the ride is just a pile of junk, which I can assure you it isn't. And I'll dive into more of my personal thoughts in just a bit, but let me just say, as a hardcore coaster enthusiast, the coaster does not disappoint. It's actually a pretty novel concept for a Disney roller coaster. It's their first ever reverse launch coaster, and the cars on the train can even rotate 360 degrees. So they actually operate on a controlled turn, similar to some of Disney's Omnimover rides like Haunted Mansion, for example. This means you'll be going backwards, forwards, and sideways throughout different parts of the coaster, depending on which way your car is facing at any given time. Now, I won't spoil the storyline or really anything else about the ride for that matter, but it's pretty clear that Disney really stepped up their game with this one. So with all that being said, you'd think that Cosmic Rewind would be talked about in the same light as Disney's other main headlining attractions like Rise of the Resistance and the aforementioned TRON Lightcycle Run, but sadly that just hasn't really been the case over the past year, and I think there are a few main reasons why. For starters, Disney has been in the headlines a ton over the past year. Whether it's the ongoing political battle with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Bob Iger returning as and replacing Bob Chapek as CEO, the battle over cast member wages, or even the announcement of Tiana's Bayou Adventure / the closing of Splash Mountain, there have been a lot more important and hot button issues going on in and around the company this past year compared to the opening of a new coaster at EPCOT. Which leads me into my next point. The basic fact that it is located at EPCOT plays a major factor into the lack of hype. Look, I love EPCOT, you might love EPCOT, but for the general public visiting Walt Disney World these days, EPCOT is playing second fiddle to both Magic Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'm not saying that should be the case, it just is what it is right now, and that's definitely causing fewer people to experience this attraction, which is unfortunate. You see, Disney still has their park reservation system in place, meaning you have to pick the park you want to visit on a given day ahead of time, and you also can't park hop until after 2 p.m. So it's fair to say that more people are making park reservations at both Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios opposed to EPCOT. Now, why this matters is that in order to ride Cosmic Rewind, you can only do so by either entering the free virtual queue on the My Disney Experience app or by purchasing an individual lightning lane through the app, which can cost anywhere from $14 to $17 per rider for just one ride. As of the recording of this video, these are the only two options you have if you want to ride Cosmic Rewind. There is no standby queue for the coaster. So in other words, the only free way to ride Cosmic Rewind is by reserving EPCOT as your park for the day, and then entering the virtual queue at either 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. You can't just show up at EPCOT and hop in line anytime you want. So yeah, I get it if it all sounds confusing. Just know that this is how Disney operates when they open new headlining attractions these days. For a new ride's first year or so, it'll only be virtual queue instead of your typical standby queue, which is also the case for TRON right now. Back to my point about EPCOT, I think the hype surrounding TRON has always overshadowed that of Cosmic Rewind, mainly because it's at Magic Kingdom, aka the most visited theme park in the entire world. And its construction was always right there in front of everyone in Tomorrowland. It was pretty hard to miss that massive new building and canopy structure being built right next to Space Mountain. EPCOT just isn't visited by as many guests, and Cosmic Rewind's construction was a bit more behind the scenes comparatively. Plus, the Magic Kingdom version of TRON is basically a clone of the one at Shanghai Disney that opened back in 2016, so people already had a point of reference of what the cool new thing coming to Magic Kingdom was like. Nobody really had a point of reference for what Cosmic Rewind was going to be exactly. Now, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm here to knock TRON by any means. I haven't been on it yet, and I am super excited to hopefully ride it later on this year. It looks like another great launch coaster in its own right, but I did want to cover a few reasons why Cosmic Rewind might be the better coaster option for you if you were forced to choose between the two. One, you get to avoid all the crazy Magic Kingdom crowds. I don't think I need to elaborate on that one much. It always just seems way more crowded at Magic Kingdom compared to EPCOT, and the numbers back that up. Two, you get more bang for your buck. TRON has a shorter track length and a shorter ride duration than Cosmic Rewind. And three, Cosmic Rewind might arguably be more re-rideable since it has a soundtrack of 6 different songs that can play on any given ride, which you'll see listed here. It might give you that added motivation to ride it again in case you didn't get your favorite song the first time around. The right song combination with the coaster can make it a truly awesome experience. And the last reason you might want to choose Cosmic Rewind over TRON is the comfortability factor, which actually goes hand in hand with its re-rideability. Now, again, I haven't personally been on TRON to know how comfortable it may or may not be while actually riding. I did try the test seat a few years back, and it seemed fine to me. It's just not your typical coaster riding position, which is part of the coaster's appeal. Conversely, I have heard a fair amount of complaints online about the restraints because of the unique seating position, but who knows, it's entirely possible that's all been greatly exaggerated. What I will say is that Cosmic Rewind is probably the most comfortable roller coaster I've ever been on. The restraints are just a simple lap bar, and there was plenty of room for my legs and my backpack. Something about it just feels like you're traveling in the lap of luxury in these Cosmic Rewind cars. That's probably the best way I can describe it. At the end of the day, I obviously can't say Cosmic Rewind is a better roller coaster than TRON since I haven't ridden TRON. I can only say I don't think I'll personally like TRON better right now based on the information I've provided. But lastly, I still need to talk about why Cosmic Rewind might in fact be the best attraction in all of Walt Disney World, even over the reigning champ Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. First off, Cosmic Rewind is much more reliable as Rise of the Resistance literally breaks down more than once daily on average. Cosmic Rewind is also much more re-rideable than Rise of the Resistance based on the simple fact that it's a roller coaster and not a dark ride. I think it's safe to say you'd get tired of riding the same dark ride over and over again compared to a roller coaster, so there really isn't much of a contest here. Even the best dark ride in the world just doesn't pack the same kind of punch as a world-class roller coaster. As far as my personal review goes, it's pretty obvious that I think Cosmic Rewind is the best roller coaster in all of Walt Disney World that I've been on. The best way I can describe it is similar to what you'll hear from many others. It's like a much better and more modern version of Space Mountain with an awesome backward launch, great onboard audio, and is the most comfortable coaster I've ever been on. It has a launch, a very smooth ride, and it's thrilling enough to please both the general public and coaster enthusiasts. Plus, I forgot to mention earlier, it's also a storytelling coaster, meaning there's an entire plot to everything happening on the coaster, and there are certain visuals and physical set pieces that you'll notice along the way in order to make it feel like you're truly part of the action right alongside the Guardians. So overall, I'd give Cosmic Rewind a solid 9 out of 10, and I think it may now even have earned a spot among my top 15 coaster rankings, which is saying a lot for a Disney coaster. And if you are a huge coaster fan like me, go ahead and watch my most recent top 15 countdown here, and feel free to let me know just how dead wrong I am with all of my coaster takes. I'd love some friendly debate. Anyway, that's going to do it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been Mike with Trout Takes, and we'll see you all real soon.